Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well. So, gentlemen, this is the predictions video, and in this video, we're going to try our best to figure out which of these skins potentially might be the best investment, which of these skins could potentially give us some of those delicious-looking profits. But I'm going to be straight to the point, guys. This week, with all of these skins, I'm probably not going to be doing any purchases. I'm going to stick with just doing some buy orders. And remember, over these past few weeks, I have been encouraging you to consider starting to do this. We don't need to rush into doing anything. We need to take our time. We need to approach this smartly, with a plan. We need to see how many sales are going on, and then we'll consider what we're going to do from there on. If you jump in and buy everything immediately, problems might arise as time goes on, and you might suffer because of it. So, yeah, each and every single week, I always sit here and say, look, if you like the skins, by all means, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creators. But we've got the financial perspective on, and we need to, figure out, maybe I want to buy 30 of these or 50 of them or 100. I want to make good profit. And when I look at all of these with the prices that they are, I know a lot of you didn't like this week's skins, but just understand this. You can still make profits out of skins regardless, all right? But you've just got to kind of be a bit more switched on, relaxed about it, and don't rush. So by default, I am going to introduce you to abnormal buy orders. So we have, with these skins that we see here, we have this, and this. These 5 skins are abnormal, and if you don't know what that is, I would encourage you to start watching my weekly abnormals videos where I introduce people into how I figure out prices and whatnot based on the amount of sales that we have. And then at a certain specific point, the abnormal skins will appear marketable at a set time every single week, and they appear earlier compared to the other skins. And if you still don't fully understand what an abnormal skin is, don't worry, I will also link this in the description. Yes, it's a very goofy face. I had to do something as a representation of abnormal. Ha ha ha. But watch this and everything will open up your mind, and you'll realize there's a lot of very good opportunities every single week. You just got to race to put down a buy order very fast. And guys, if you're like me, you have tons of buy orders put down, and as time goes on, you pick up a lot of skins for a lot of cheaper prices. It's very good, and this is why I have thousands of skins. Guys, I mean, I kid you not, just this is, how many years? Almost 10 years of buy orders. It started off with TF2, and as you slowly scroll on down, you'll see some CSGO, and eventually it'll just be Rust. Oh, look, there's Rust. Hey, Rust. How you doing? So, yeah, this is what happens as time goes on, but every single thing I could buy here, I will buy it for a much cheaper price than what it's probably worth, and I'll sell it for a whole lot more. And I do this a lot. So this is how I've been successful mostly over these past few years. I can't breathe, sorry. So anyway, moving all the way back up, let's go take a look at these, and let's start figuring out what potentially might be the best skins to keep an eye on. Gentlemen, I know a lot of you are keeping an eye on the likes of the Redemption M249, the next continuation of the Redemption collection. We have the LR300, that started off last year. Then fairly recently we had the Redemption Thompson, and one thing I have noticed is that these have started to go up in price a bit. It seems with every Redemption skin we're getting, it looks like it's causing the pre-existing ones to go up in price. Now, by default, these didn't have that much quantity on the Steam market anyway. This only had 25. This had about 60-ish earlier. You got 70 now, but maybe people are listing theirs because they saw this appear. Guys, we do have another Redemption skin on the way, potentially. This was submitted this past weekend. The Redemption semi-automatic rifle. Mr. Slanosta is definitely keeping up with introducing more and more skins, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do see even more skins being made and submitted and potentially accepted in the future. So that's a positive thing to keep an eye out for. But then we also have to consider M249s. They are a bit awkward. Look at this. Yeah, not all of them are doing super great. And, well, do you know what we should probably do? We should look into the past, because last year we had 2 notable, fairly higher priced M249s that came out. The Black Gold M249 and the Tempered M249. This sold for $5, this sold for $4. Well, you might think this is struggling, but it's not. It's just got 2 random listings here at a lower price. This is actually worth around $5. So this seems to be retaining its value. But if you bought this for $5, you're not going to be making any profits if you sell it. You've got to sell this for at least $5.75 to get your $5 back. Same here with the likes of the tempered M249. If you bought this for $4 and sold it now for $4.85, you'd make like 25 cents profit. That doesn't sound very good. So this is a point where I'm starting to introduce you to the idea of maybe we're better off just doing buy orders. And this is why every single week on my stream, I'm always doing the abnormal buy orders. I'm figuring out decent prices to put down. And only then would I ever consider doing a purchase for an abnormal skin. I would rather see what the buy order build up looks like for the skin, then I'd consider actually jumping in and making a purchase. So this right here, I can see a lot of people wanting it. I can see it potentially being the nice and shiny M249 skin of the year. I also don't think we're going to see many M249 skins being accepted this year. 4 at most. They seem to be seasonal. You'll see one for spring, summer, autumn and winter. It sounds silly, but that's essentially what happened last year, and it's what's happening already this year. It's June. Surprise. So, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do maybe something like a $2 to $2.50 buy order maybe on this. I want to see how many sales happen. I have to wait until Wednesday, all right? So buy order probably is what it's going to be, all right? You can save money this way. All right, cool. So I guess you're probably wondering, maybe I should go for the Hell tools, that being the hatchet and the pickaxe. Guys, the pickaxes and hatchets haven't been doing good for a long time in terms of being good investments. What you want about? Well, all I've got to do is show you this. Take a look at all of these pickaxes over the past 2 years. Ta-da! And yeah, you do have the likes of the Ancient Amber doing all right. But then you look at the likes of the Blacksmith's pickaxe, and why am I specifically pointing this out? Well, it's because the Hell tools are glow in the dark, and that's probably not very good. Yeah. So it's up to you, but I don't think you really want to be running around with that at night. And you're going to probably have that on your back as well. So you're making yourself more of a target, and that's not really good. But by default, I think a lot of people probably would want to use these during the day. Yeah, from Hell Collection, it's very notable. It's got a lot of skins accepted into it, and a lot of people do like to use them. But, and this is a trend I keep seeing all the time, at some point, pretty much every single From Hell skin will be probably down below by like 20% at some point. This happens all the time. During the year, From Hell skins tend to suffer. It's just a routine thing. But when we hit like August time or post-Christmas time, I'm talking December, January, February, they all get bought out and used and go up in price. Yeah. So, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if they do go below the Rustore price. I'd rather do a buy order, and hey, you know what? Maybe we end up doing like a $2 buy order or something. Let's just see how many sales happen first, and then we'll make that consideration. Sounds good? Now with these abnormal skins, Sarnana, this is a very uniquely coloured SAR. You might be thinking, oh, what about the yellow submarine? Yellow submarine's a dull yellow, and you can see it right there. That's getting no love. Look at that. Where is it? Come on, come back. Yep, $1.29 there. So when you look at every single SAR, I don't see a nice brightly coloured yellow SAR, do you? Well, I do here. Ta-da! So maybe it might work out well with its unique color identity. You do have Toy SAR. You do have Toy SAR. That's selling for $4 at the moment. So, again, I don't need to rush into buying it. I could take my time. I could sit here all day long and question and think of all the potential good or bad things. But you know what? I can wait a few days. This will be appearing at an earlier time, at a set time. I can go ahead, wait and see how many sales have happened. I could then compare in recent times with all the recent SARs that have been accepted in 2023, see how many sales they had, and I will then probably figure out, you know what, maybe I could try for this price as a buy order. So yeah, they're not really doing that well, except Arctic Skull, but that's for a fairly specific reason. But yeah, I don't need to rush. I'd rather see how many sales happened, then consider it. But at the very least, you know, you could just probably put down a $2 buy order and buy these for 50 cents cheaper, and I wouldn't be surprised if you succeed that way. But would that still be a good thing to do? We need to wait until next week to figure that out. Moving on, Roadsign gloves tend to be very reliable investments. We have 29 Roadsign glove skins, and how many of them are currently below their Rustore price? 1, and 2, and 3, and that's it. That's it. Every single one of them is pretty much above their rust ore price. And you might realise that pretty much all of them are part of a collection. Now, you can sit there and debate and sit there and say, but it's just default colours in a silly scheme and well, whatever, It's a goofy set. It's a gimmick set. If you like it, sure, by all means, go for it. But this is $2.49, and that's what I'm mainly concerned about. See, most of these Roadsign gloves weren't selling for $2.49. If we go by highest price, it's about halfway, isn't it? So this is doing all right, $2.50 there, but that was a 99-cent skin, 99-cent skin, 99-cent skin, $3.49, but it's only down by 7%. No, $2.49 here, that's holding up quite all right. The main thing that would be a great positive to this is if JPEG actually succeeds to get its tier 3 accepted, which unfortunately has had 2 attempts already. 1 back in September, 2 back in January of 2023. It hasn't been successful. But with this randomly getting an acceptance, I wouldn't be surprised if the skin creators, Mr. GBG and Trigger, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually go ahead and make a third attempt to get tier 3 accepted. And if that does get accepted, of course that's going to go up in price, along with the hoodie and pants and tier 2. So, it's debatable. I will sit here and say I think this, at the very least, will probably retain its value. If it were to go down, it'll probably go as low as maybe 10%. If it does go up, it'll probably go up reasonably okay. It probably won't be super, insane in terms of making a profit. But for a good buy order, that should probably work out quite all right. Now, again, I'd rather see how many sales happen. And you might notice these skins aren't selling insanely. Compared to last week, that was insane. But with the amount of sales we saw for all of these skins last week, I think everybody wants to chill out for 1 week and just, recuperate a bit, because we have 4 skins that did over 40,000 sales. This week, I wouldn't be surprised if we barely get 2 skins over 20,000 sales. So I get the feeling this skin right here, it will probably be fairly quiet. It might struggle to even reach 10,000 sales. All the better for it, because that would mean less people buying these in excess, and that would mean a better profit potential. All right? So, yeah, less sales do usually sometimes equal to easier profit potential. But it does matter, is there genuine demand for it? That's a bit of a problem. But again, tier 3 is accepted. Of course, it's going to spike in demand, spike in price. So, yep. There are 2 more skins I want to talk about. Arctic Skull MP5. Over the past few weeks, we have been discussing with the likes of Arctic Skull that people could be looking at this and seeing it as a budget comics option. It seems to be working all right for the SAR. It's doing reasonably okay for the AK. I mean, it's not too below its rust ore price. In fact, let's just quickly go see. Is it just a random straggler? Yeah, you got someone listing 19 there. Yeah, they're causing problems themselves. So it's unfortunately down to someone not being very smart. But with this, if you go take a look at the likes of the Comics MP5 yourself, you realise that it's actually not doing very well in itself. Yeah, that's only selling for $2.16. This is a $2 skin. So if this is the budget option of that, I don't think it's going to really go up in price that much. Yeah, I'm not really confident in it. But that's MP5s in general. Ever since the recall update last year, they've really fallen off, and I don't think people really care that much for them. Therefore, the skin here, not that interested. And then we got the likes of the El Diablo pump shotgun right there, guys. We don't see many of these being accepted, and I believe at the very least it's going to retain its value, but it's not really going to make a profit. So we go by newest. Recycler pump shotgun wasn't the most flashiest or insane skin, but it still went up in price and retained its value at the very least, but it's not a profit. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see that much of an insane increase in demand like we did last year when we saw that update to the slugs. But again, remember, they changed it. You had a nerf. It got changed around, so it's only good in the short range and rather than being a mini sniper. I don't think it's going to really be worthwhile to chase after. But with a good buy order, still good. Still good. With a good buy order, it's still a good thing to chase after. So it might stick around the $2 region, but, you put down maybe like a $1.50 buy order. Every single one you buy could sell for a profit. And now you understand. So, yeah. Today was a different perspective. But I hope you understand now that it's not always about buying. You can do your buy orders instead. And it does work out quite all right. And of course, the 75% discount has still not yet appeared. So it is expected to potentially happen maybe tonight or tomorrow or next week. It's going to happen soon. It's going to happen. So be prepared. And it will affect these skins as well, as would all of these skins be affected. So yeah, let's just get a good refresh. Pirate face mask. There's a lot of demand and it's selling for $1.60 now. Will it hold? We'll see. So yeah, sorry if it was a bit rambly, but just understand. You don't need to rush in to buy anything. Take our time. We'll do our buy orders. Then we'll make considerations. All right? Sounds good? I'll catch you all later. Have a lovely week, and we'll see how all of this turns out. Let's just keep an eye out, and don't forget, every single week I am doing my Rust Workshop skin checks, and usually if we do see another continuation of a collection, mainly if we see another skin appearing out of all of these collections, it could have a significant increase in demand. Let's say JPEG Tier 3 was submitted as a version 3 in the next batch of workshop skins. I think there would be an increase in demand for this, wouldn't there? So, yeah, take that into consideration. So, thank you very much for watching. Have a good one, and we'll see what happens.